Any questions on any sort of news articles? I'm catching up with the news. So JC and then you.
What's your opinion, Bob, on there's a school, I think up Norwood, England?
Yes, I heard about it.
Easter.
It's Easter celebration. Yeah.
Okay, well, same question. It's all right, yeah.
So just to show that at the heart of multicultural ideology is a deep-rooted, a deep-seated Christophobia. We've seen an example, and it's not the first, but another example of the hypocrisy of liberals in their treatment of Christians in this country. They want to talk about inclusivity, and they want to talk about cultural sensitivity. How inclusive is it, and how culturally sensitive is it to cancel the Easter celebrations in your school? And yet there is a school in the north of England. I don't know if anyone's got the exact name of the school.
Yeah. I don't have the names there, but I just got it just now.
Yeah, let's have a look.
That's the letter.
Yeah, schools traditional. Let's have a look. Do we have the name of the school?
I'll try and find it.
Yeah, maybe someone can find it.
I'll try and find it.
But we've had a head teacher saying that they're not going to celebrate Easter in an inclusive, tolerant society. Christians, this is your fault. This is your fault because you aren't confrontational enough. This is your fault because you don't stand up for yourself and your own culture enough. This school deserves protests outside of its gates.
Norwood Primary School.
Norwood Primary School. What's the name of the head teacher?
That's the teacher.
Hold on, her name was there just now, hold on.
This school deserves
Miss Mander, M-A-N-D-E-R.
Miss Mander
That's the one.
needs to be challenged. She needs to be challenged publicly as to why she thinks discriminating against Christians is okay. Now, I will put this caveat in.
Okay.
If it turns out that Miss Mander has cancelled all celebrations of all religions in her school, then my point is invalid because she has been fair to everybody. But if the only religion that is having its celebrations cancelled in that school is the Christian one, then Miss Mander needs to be sacked for discrimination against Christians. She needs to be blacklisted and never allowed to teach or lead another school ever again in this country. Imagine if there was a teacher that banned the celebration of Eid or said that we shouldn't celebrate Ramadan. How long would that teacher be in a job? How long would it be before they were pulled up by the local educational authority, dragged over the coals and lost their job? And so we see from root to branch, from top to bottom, that there is discrimination against Christians in this country by the liberal elites. But they are just being liberal. The fault rests with you. The fault is yours for not challenging them strong enough. The fault is yours for not going out and protesting, for not demanding that she be sacked. You're the weak ones. You're the cowards that don't stand up for your Christian heritage. Find your courage. Find your valor. Find your belief. Find your commitment to your heritage and start standing up for it. Mrs. Mander should be sacked, and there should be protests outside of that school until she is sacked. And the Christians of that town and that region should be outside of that school in their thousands demanding that she is gone.
Say it again, please, Bob. Say it again.
Christians in that town and in that region should be protesting outside of that school until Miss Mander is fired for discrimination against the Christian peoples of these islands.
Big up.
Is it Norwood
South London or another one?
Oh, you'll have to look it up. I don't know exactly. It's in Southampton, apparently. Any other questions on any news articles that people want me to talk about?
What's your word due to our King Charles? Yes, opening the doors. Yeah, to the St. George's Chapel for Muslims breaking their fast.
Right.
Windsor.
So, ladies and gentlemen, when Elizabeth the Great of blessed memory died, I wrote an article saying that King Charles shouldn't take the vows to become the defender of the faith. And the reason why I said that is because I happen to think vows are important. If you make a vow, you're obliged to keep it. Put your hand up if you actually agree with me that people should keep their word. If you make a vow, you should honour it. Well, King Charles, as a constitutional monarchy of a liberal, secular, humanist state, cannot keep the vow to defend the faith. He is unable to do so. And he has demonstrated that. Was it in a chapel?
St. George's.
Are you sure it was in a chapel?
St. George's Hall.
St. George's Hall.
That's what they called it, yes.
And in the scriptures, it says as Christians that we should not be unevenly yoked with the unbeliever. What does the worship of Yahweh have to do with the worship of Baal? What does the temple of light have to do with darkness? Iftar is a celebration of the Islamic faith. For Christians, this is a false religion. A Christian cannot celebrate a false religion. That's why as Christians we can't go on pride marches or celebrate Pride Month. That's why as Christians we can't celebrate Ramadan or Iftar or Muhammad's birthday or the Hindu festival of Holi or Yom Kippur of the Jewish people. We can't celebrate these things because our faith says that we cannot mix light with darkness, we cannot mix truth with falsehood. And so King Charles, by celebrating Iftar, has not only demonstrated that he is not discipled properly in the faith, he has also broken his vows to be a defender of the faith, because he, as king and as a Christian monarch, has set a terrible, horrendous, abominable example to Christians in these islands.
Sadly.
By suggesting that we should celebrate a false religion. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, King Charles should not, and future monarchs should not be made to vow to defend the Christian faith. And the Church of England should be disestablished from the state. The monarch and Christians should call out this monarch for his poor understanding of Christianity.
Stand up. The vicars just stand up.
As Christians, we can no more celebrate Ramadan than Muslims can celebrate Christmas. And no one condemns Muslims for saying that they can't celebrate Christmas. So no one should condemn Christians for saying that they won't celebrate Ramadan or Eid or have an Iftar meal. Any other topics of the news that people want me to talk about?
Brilliant answer. Thank you so much.